Thank you so much. My name is Mutamba Dina, and I work for Land Environment organization that is RIAU. I'm part of this coalition. My organization is part of this coalition, and I'm very glad that I was invited to be part of this training for 3 days. Okay. So thank you so much. Yeah, we are going to benefit a lot in terms of networking, because we have had a number of organizations. We're going to be one voice for a common cause. So yeah, this has been getting to know all the organizations, about 14 organizations in this coalition, will give us a bigger voice to be able to do our work, especially our advocacy work, and also responding to these recommendations, UPR recommendations, especially for the country. Yeah, we've learned a lot. It was very interesting topic. I now know what UPR stands for. Most of us did not even know. We know all the concepts of UPR. I now know that my government has had a number of recommendations since they were in Geneva in 2015. I know we have adopted now the 50 recommendations, and it is our role as an organization to know what are those and how can we be part of it as a civil society organization. So that was my major take on that. Advocacy, yeah, it is a lot, because our day-to-day work involves advocacy, and we also have that in my organization. We have that area of intervention where we do research and advocacy. But now we have come to know the steps of advocacy, how you need to do it, the powers behind advocacy. There is a lot that we have covered in advocacy that I'm going to pass this information to my colleagues, but also it will help me to have a full package of if I have something, an issue that we want to advocate for, at least I have the basics. I know the powers to tap in, the people in the network that will help me to define this advocacy issue and be able to raise it. Yeah, thank you. Definitely it's going to bring a lot of change on how we've been running business, because we normally think that advocacy is easy. Once you pass the information, once you say this group of people is vulnerable, we need change, that is enough. But through this training, we have learned that that is not enough. There is a process, there is a budget that you need to set for that. It will change by way of implementing, of doing things in the field. I need to have the facts, not jumping into conclusions. I need to talk to the people at the field that we do call beneficiaries before we can advocate for them. We need to have facts first. So that was my take on that.
As we conclude, what are the specific challenges affecting civic space in Rwanda that you're going to advocate for?
There are a number of challenges. First of all, the space itself, people, we do not have there is resistance in terms of people speaking freely about things. There is that fear that we talked about it in the training, that people are they fear to open up, they fear to express themselves. So that is something that we need to tap into. We need to look into where is this fear coming from. We are civil society organization. We know our mandate. We know our statute. Why can't we speak up? We are supporting the government to move forward to the care of citizens. How can we play a role if we have that kind of fear? That's how I can put it in my own words.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. My name is Brenda Advocacy. I work for a local organization called Human Rights First Rwanda Association. As an organization, we benefit the fact that we get to work with other civil society organizations. When we put our minds together, I believe we'll reach far more goals than we would have otherwise reached on our own.
So what have you acquired in terms of knowledge on UPR process, the role of CSOs in UPR? What have you acquired on that?
I believe in terms of UPR, I had a small notion, but then it has become even more clear to me that it is a space that as civil society we are allowed to use, and that we need to use even more now than before, and that through reporting we can be able to make a voice, make an impact, however small it might be. Well, with advocacy, we work with on advocacy on a regular basis, but this training made me realize that there are things that we were not taking into account in terms of knowing the powers that you need to consider, knowing the allies, going beyond what you know or what you have, knowing the principles and how to come up with a good advocacy strategy or plan. Given that we are in changing times, I think we need to come up with better advocacy strategies, and this has been, I think I've realized that point during this 3 days workshop. I think for us, and as we discussed with my colleagues, self-censorship is a big issue in terms of using the space that we have, and also realizing how big a space we have. We may say we have a small space or a big space, but also acknowledging that we also have a role to play as individuals, as community members, as civil society organizations, and also believe that information is key. So we need, in order to use this space effectively, we have a challenge that the information is not out there. People don't know their right to information. They don't know their right to speech. They don't know their right. So as a civil society, we need to first start by educating our community members. We also need to use the space that we have, that the government has provided, to use it effectively and wisely. And like we said, we also have to put our minds together, because the challenge is we work in different areas or in our own different places, but it's better when we're working together.
Thank you very much, Brenda.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.